Interaction diagram. So interaction diagram is nothing but your sequence diagram, right? So we know interaction diagram is used as is otherwise called as your sequence diagram. So we already know how to draw the sequence diagram, everything. So this is the example of your sequence diagram. I think you remember the same sequence diagram when we discussed about your first initial concept.
Yeah, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So
Yes,
any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
So you remember what is this solid angle line is called as timeline. This short line is also called as your timelines only. That is dotted lines is also timeline. And the message which is passing from the actor to the objects. So what is 2B in the sense? 2-button watch. 2-button watch input, 2-button watch display, 2-button watch time. Understood? So the same diagram only we have seen already. So if button 1 and 2 pressed, first hours will get blinked. If again button 1 is pressed, minutes will get blinked. If button 2 is pressed, increment the minute and refresh the time. Both the buttons are pressed together, commit the new time and stop blinking. Am I right? This we already discussed. So now what is an extra thing we are going to discuss is about your condition and iteration sequence over here. So condition and iteration sequence. What is this condition and iteration sequence over here? In your ATM, when we discuss about your ATM machine withdrawal, you remember that when I put an ATM card, if balance is there available than the amount whatever I entered, you will get the cash. If amount is less inside our account, whatever I entered in the machine, then what will happen? It will say insufficient.
It will display a message.
It will say insufficient balance. Enter amount lesser than the amount what is there in your account. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there, how many options is happening? 2 options. One, if the amount is more in your account, you will get withdrawal. If your amount is less in your account, you will get a message states that to enter the lesser amount. Am I right? So that is shown as your alternation here. So this ALT is nothing but alternate option. So here, whatever is given, this open and close, array bracket open and close is nothing but the condition. If I is greater than 0, option 1 will get proceeded. Else, option 2 will get proceeded. You understood the sequence diagram? Even I remember when I'm writing it on the board, I have separated. If balance is less, you have to do the second option. You can check in your classwork note whether you have segregated like that box. This kind of a box. Is there? Okay, even if it is not there also, no problem. So when you have an options kind of a thing, you have to represent it in the sequence diagram. Then you have to use like this, an alternate option. So if you have any condition, kind of a thing, then you have to write a condition statement like this. States that if I greater than 0, what should happen? If I less than 0, what should happen? Like that, you have to state the condition. Is it clear? Yes. So in case you have this, other than this alternative, you have some looping operations also. Then in your sequence diagram, you can show this is a looping operation. What is a looping operation? For example, in your ATM itself, I want to withdraw 40,000, but at a time I cannot withdraw 30,000 or 40,000. So what I will do, I'll keep having 10,000 withdrawal. After completing the access, it will be asking you, do you want to continue? If I press yes, again it will go to the same set of statements, steps. It will be asking you to enter the amount, then it will check the balance, how much is available. If the balance is sufficient, then it will be going for withdrawal. If balance is not sufficient, it will go for the next option. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that kind of things, the looping things can be written in the form of looping operations. So if you have any other than loop, if you have any alter conditions, then you can write it in the form of alteration in the sequence diagram. In this condition, you can write the that is association also. How many times it is going to repeat? N number of times it's going to repeat. No, 2 times it is going to repeat. For example, how many times I can withdraw with the same ATM card? If there is a restriction, I can withdraw only 3 times. So here you can write, instead of I greater than 0, you can write only 3. Means this have to repeat only 3 times. Like that you can use your number of time repetitions also. Iterations also you can write it. So this is conditions and iterations in your sequence diagram. You can have iterations also in your sequence diagram. You can have conditions also in the sequence diagram. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is other thing other than the sequence diagram is a communication diagram. This is similar to a sequence diagram, and the same information it will give like a sequence diagram. But the problem is, it is even compact, but it is very difficult to understand. You don't want to write all the objects like this line by line, and you don't want to show the timeline when it gets activated, when it will get not activated, all these things and all you don't want to show in your communication diagram. But the problem is understanding the sequence is very, very difficult. Now, what is happening in this communication diagram is the same. When I press button 1 and 2, what is going to happen? Can you see here? 1, blink hours will happen. If I press button 1, then what will happen? 2, blink minutes will happen. Next 3, button 2 is pressed, then immediately what will happen? Increment minutes will happen. So can you able to understand this? Is it not difficult for us to understand this diagram?
Yes, ma'am.
But the same thing if I show in the sequence diagram, it is easy for me to understand. But the communication diagram is have the same information like your sequence diagram, but it is difficult to understand. It has, even the diagram will be smaller in size. You don't want to write 10 objects line by line and don't want to show the timing diagrams and all. But it is very difficult for an implementation people to understand this communication diagram. But it has the same information which is related to your sequence diagram. So where you are going to apply your interaction diagram? So obviously when you wanted to know the individual responsibility of a class, individual class what it should do, individual owner what should do, individual object what it should do. So individually if you want to know the responsibilities, then you can go for your sequence diagram. Understood sequence diagram? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Shall we continue or shall I stop? Still we have state machine diagram. So we know what is state machine diagram. Means that from one state to another state, how you are going to jump. So that is comes under your state machine diagram. So here in this example, they have given some 4 states: active state, inactive state, and closed state, archive state. So what does mean by active state? An active means an accident happened. So that accident is under process, means the resource being sent. So the resource is being sent to the particular place and still the process is going on. Then it is in the active state. When this active state will go to the inactive state, the incident is completed. The fire engine, when it is shut the complete fire, everything is done. The complete report is not being generated. Then the state will go to inactive state. So when it will go to the closed state, once the incident is completed, the report is also generated. Then it will go to the closed state. Report is stored in the database. Then it will go to the archived state, and the state is, so starting of the state is declared using the dark circle, and the ending of the state is declared using dark circle and with the another one outer circle. So this is the end of the state and this is the beginning of the state. So in between you can see the transition. So from active state it goes to the inactive state. So when it will go to the inactive state, when the incident is handled, but still the report is not generated, it will go to the inactive state. From inactive state, it will go to the closed state once the document is completely ready. Then it will go to the archive state once the document is stored in the database. So the transition is shown in the arrow mark. From one state to the another state, the transition is shown in the arrow mark. And this example is again the same transition diagram, state diagram, which is used to show for your button, that is your watch. What exactly it says? There is two states. One is set time state and measure time state. Two states are there. So set time state is the initial state. So when you press a button, you will go to the measuring state. So after, if you press and both the buttons, it will again come to set time state. After 2 minutes, after pressing the button for 2 minutes, it again go to the measuring state. So like that, from one state to another state, it will be keep moving if any of this particular operation is carrying out. And it may go to the dead battery state when the battery is empty. So that is going to be the end state. It's a simple state diagram which is shown over here. Is it clear? So internal transition state diagram is shown here. So what is internal transition? Whenever your set time class should be active, that is shown here. The operations is shown here. Then an entry of hour is required when the button is clicked, when the right button is clicking, or an exit or entry blinking. At all this time, your set time class will be in active mode. So when your measure time will be in active mode, when this measure time class will be in active mode, when you're giving count, means from 56 seconds, you wanted to increase it to 59. So you will be clicking, yes, next, next, next. So that time your measure time class will be in active mode. Other times your set time class will be in active mode. When your dead battery class will be active mode, when this transition has happened to the dead battery because state. Is it clear? Next, you can have nested state also. Means here you have state transition for one particular operation. Right? So you can have many operations nested, which is called as nested state machine diagram. Is it clear for everyone? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here, what is this state machine diagram, which is called as nested state machine diagram, is like hours, minutes, seconds. So for hours, you have a separate class. For a minute, you have a separate class. For seconds, you have a separate class. A day, month, year, you have a separate class. So all the separate states is going to be nested inside your set time state. It is called as nested state. 1B is nothing but one button. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can have a individual state diagram or you can have a nested state diagram also. So one state diagram within the another state diagram is called as your nested state diagram. So where you wanted to apply the state diagram, where you have to know the behavior of your subsystem. So individual objects behavior I wanted to know. If you want to know the responsibilities, you have to go for the sequence diagram. If you wanted to know the behavior, then I wanted to go for your state diagram. From one state to another state, how it is going to move. So next comes your activity diagram. So you remember, it's nothing but a flowchart representation. The flow of events is going to be represented in the form of an activity diagram. Inside activity diagram, what we are going to discuss is about what is control nodes and what is fork and join. So these things we are going to discuss under your activity diagram. So activity diagram is nothing but a flowchart kind of a diagram. So here we are going to discuss about what is control nodes. Means what is the control flow. What is a decision? Decision means branching. If this is true, what I have to do. If this is false, what I have to do. Whether you did the same thing in your library management also. If already user is having the username, then directly he can go for searching the book. If he is not having the username and password, you have to create one and then you have to go for search books. That comes under your decision. Fork and join, it is synchronization. Synchronization, I have shown you a dark line. It will have a 3. I'll just show you here. Can you see this dark line? Yes, respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is, we already seen, this is called as your fork and join. Whenever you want, this resources can be divided. Whenever you want, you can combine this resources. Dividing is called as fork operation. Combining is called as join operation. That is synchronization operation. So now first we will see about what is this exact decision in this operation is going to happen. Decision. Control flow means what? Control flow is nothing but for this particular operation, what are the operations have to be carried out. All these things comes under your control flow. So inside control flow, we have certain operations. One is decision, another fork node, right? So what is first decision? So decision means what? Here an incident is happened. If it is high priority, what I should do. If it is low priority, what I should do. That only is going to happen here. So if it is not a fire, it's a high priority, it is not a fire accident, then I want to intimate to the police officer. If it is a fire accident and it is a high priority, then I want to intimate it to the fire officer, that is fire chief. Then they will be allocating the resources. Even if it is a low priority incident also, it will be allocating a resources. But I don't want to immediately notify to anyone. I'll just tell a report will be generated and it will be asking you to allocate the resources. All these are aggregated here. Aggregation here. So if any incident has happened, you wanted to allocate a resources. The resource allocation can be either high priority through the police officer, or it can be from a fire officer, it can be directly from the field officer also. This is called as decision. You have to decide it, whether it is priority is high priority, or if it is a fire accident or it is a normal accident. So you have to decide it. According to the decision, your path will differ. You're able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if it is a fire accident, you have to go to fire engine and fire chief and to allocate the resources. If it is a normal accident, you have to go to police officer and through police officer, you have to allocate the resources. Anyhow, allocate resources is going to happen, but through which path you're going to allocate the resources is depend on to the decision what you're going to take. Next,
Excuse
fork
me,
and join.
ma'am.
Any doubt?
Yeah, ma'am. Like in low priority, who will allocate the resource?
You
ma'am?
can directly, like your dispatcher, directly you can go for the dispatcher person. You can send the report through the dispatcher. You will get the allocating resources.
Okay.
Any incident will get allocating resources. But if it is fire or if it is any high priority incident, then you have to go inform your police officer. Through him, you are going to allocate the resources. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, what is fork and join? Means allocating resource, coordinating the resource, document the incident, all together can happen in parallel also. right? So once the incident has happened, you can ask them to allocate the resource, and you can ask to coordinate the resource, and you can ask to document the incident. So all together can happen in parallel also. So once it is all together is happened, then you are going to store all the information in your database. So archive incident is nothing but a database. So this is called as fork, and this line is called as join. But this is called as synchronization, which all these three use cases can happen at the same time. That is the meaning of it. Then another one is swim lanes. What is meant by swim lanes? You can see here. So activities may be grouped into swim lanes. So what is the swim lanes in the sense? Who is going to do which activity? You're going to divide their activity according to the person who is going to do that activity. So that is called as swim lanes. So here an incident is open. Allocate resource and coordinate resource can happen through the dispatcher person. And documenting the incident can happen by the field officer. So you know who is field officer, right? Field officer, who is a person who is going to see the incident has happened and trying to create an emergency report. Through him, it will go to the dispatcher to allocate the resources. So in allocating resources, coordinating the resources can happen by the dispatcher. What incident has happened, how it has happened, where it has happened, all this information can be documented by the officer. Dividing the activity according to the response actors is called as swim lanes. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So activity diagram is clear. Soumya, is it audible now? Soumya?
Ma'am, in between it is not audible, ma'am. Now it is audible, ma'am.
Okay. So any doubt is there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now activity is clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. So now you're going to see the packages. So this is your package. I show you the packages, right? So how the packages exactly you will write as a project. So here you have a package. Incident management is one package. Incident archive is a storage. It is one package. System administration is one package. Package to package communication also. One package can have communication to the another package. So your incident package is having communication with field officer and dispatcher. Your incident archive will be having a communication with the librarian is nothing but he can be a dispatcher also. The same dispatcher can have the communication inside your incident archive also. So your system admin who is going to manage the user and terminals, means manage the user in the sense your field officer is a user who is going to make use of your incident management, right? So there can be different packages, and all these packages can be clubbed together. The package representation can be in this form also. Instead of detailed representation, you can have the package representation like this also. And here you can have, this is again an example of the package representation where you can see the communication. The same diagram we have model representation also. You remember application domain system is going to have the communication. I'll show you. You remember, I think so you'll remember. You remember this diagram?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So same thing only is represented in the form of your packages here. So this is the package representation, right? So that's it. So that's it about your topic. Another last topic of your modeling and concept is over.